the USMC assault pouch, a large horizontal zipper GP pouch, has a ton of great uses and a ton of great placement options. We're gonna take a deep dive look into it today. Hey guys, Lucas here from Vintage Surplus, and today we're gonna take a real deep dive into the Marine Corps assault pouch. This is definitely one of my favorite surplus pouches in the day for various reasons. We're gonna go into that. We're gonna take a good look at it and some good ways to use it, and some good ways to refine the pouch as it is, because there's some deficiencies, maybe not deficiencies, but things that can make this better. And we're gonna look at how to do that. So let's get into it. First off, what is it? Like I said, it's a large zipper GP pouch. It has a ton of great placement options, and you saw some in the intro, and we'll go over those again as well. But as you see right here, it goes great on a chest rig like a tap, especially on a tap because it's just a large working surface as far as molly goes. So I can put it right in the middle, and it can hold a ton of great gear. It can also go on stuff like belt kits and that center back right here, and you can even plus up some space on backpacks by putting on like Marine Corps assault packs or any assault pack that has a good amount of molly working surface. We'll go into how much it takes to really put this on somewhere too. So that's what it does. Again, zippered. It's got a good water resistant zipper on there. It's kind of like one of those welded types with a good bit of like storm flap kind of going over it. So you don't have to worry about water getting in there, dust getting right in there if you're in that kind of environment, which, you know, Marines are at the end of the day. In there's one good flap to kind of separate things out. And on back, 4 molly straps. And it takes up 6 as far as molly goes, but because of overlap on the sides, you really need about 8 free spaces if you're working on a flatter surface. On a belt, that 6 is all you kind of really need because the belt's going to wrap, so you can kind of free up those extra, the space on the end. But it takes up 6. You're going to need really 8 on, you know, 1 on either side of there to make it work best. But so big pouch. If you look at that, real big pouch, holds a ton of stuff. So let's take a look at what kind of stuff it can hold. So the USMC assault pouch is pretty similar to your standard kind of like Eagle Industries 9x3x5 as far as size and general features go. Your LBT 9x3x5s are pretty similar, and your Spiritus System CCS pouch is pretty similar too in size and overall concept. This is an Eagle V2. It's got molly on front. This is slick. You know, it's up to you kind of at the end of the day what you like better. Anything I'm saying about this pouch for the rest of the video kind of applies to any of these type pouches as well. Same kind of general basis, but I definitely think this pouch definitely shines just based on overall simplicity of it and, you know, what you can do with that in the day. So, and it's in Coyote, which is, you know, pretty much God's base color, so you can't really beat that. So yeah, let's get into the rest of the video. So, what can you put in this pouch? Well, it's a general purpose pouch, so you can put pretty much anything you want to in this kind of pouch. If you had it in your assault pack or your rucksack or whatever backpack on your back panel, you have multiple on your kit, you kind of specialize them down to, you know, specialty kit purposes, like label them up, put a patch on it like I did, or write on it, be like, this is for this. A large IFAC even could fit in here really well with room to spare. Or you use it just as like an admin general purpose pouch like I have it on this this chest rig right here, this tap. So let's see what I got in here. This is definitely overloaded as far as the amount of stuff in here, but it shows you how much it can hold and, you know, kind of how I'm holding it in here. So first off, I got a spotting scope in here, plenty of room for that on a leash. And it's just have a good tie down point where I can tie stuff like that down too. Just one, but that's more than enough. Usually not gonna run a whole lot of leashed items in a pouch up front or just on your kit. You know, you can spread that around pretty easy. So from there, you know, flashlight, extra spoon, batteries, some electrical tape, multi-tool, compass on a leash as well, tied down to tie down point. So again, you can hold more than one tie down item in here on that one point. It's just up to you how you want to do that. Some 550 cord you can hold in here. And then if you see, it's kind of overflowing, but this flap right here, this slot, you can definitely organize stuff out for more admin purposes. So I got, you know, map in here, writing material, pen, marking material, more marking material, and some odds and ends all in here. It all fits in here really easy, and you can really organize it down. So overall, you know, sky's the limit what you want to put in here. If you want to make this like an E&E type kit, definitely could with a trimmed down 24 hours worth of food. Super easy, plus, you know, some survival items like 550 cord, knives, fire starting material, all that kind of stuff is going to fit in here real easy. So, you know, again, general purpose admin type pouch, whatever you want to put in here, it's going to fit it at the end of the day. And it's going to be easy to get in and out of it and get what you need, keep it semi-organized. But as you see, the one big kind of complaint about these is it's just a little bit of a loose pouch. It's got a large opening, so it does kind of loosen up a little bit. So we're going to take a look at how to fix that. You can kind of already see how I did that on this one. And I'll take a look at 2 different ways to do that. Real easy, and it's going to make you really a lot more happy with the pouch at the end of the day, especially depending on certain placements. So let's get into how to fix this pouch up really easy. Okay, so that main complaint about these pouches is they are pretty unstructured and a little floppy, and that big opening in there gives it a large area to open up and kind of just like sag. So depending on what you're holding in here, where you have it placed, there's a really easy fix for that. It's user dependent if you want to do it or not, and kind of just situational. So if you don't want to do this, by all means, the pouch is going to work just fine without it. But if you want to get a little more out of your pouch and be able to do a few more things with it, this is a really easy way to fix it. So as per usual, HSGI bungee cords or just shot cord in general is going to be how you're going to fix this pouch up. I got 2 different ways to show. So first way, took 2 different pieces and tied them off to the side of the molly on the back end, and I put them through, and then I got a cord lock. If you have one of those lying around, now is a good use to get out of that junk drawer. So I tied it off, and now I can adjust that tension on there. And if you're running around and it's bouncing, tighten this thing down, and it's going to be a lot less bouncy. The other way, without using a cord lock and make it non-adjustable as is, it's going to be like fixed retention, is just tie it through, get that pull tab, and now you have it like this. Either way, you're getting some tension on that pouch, hold some loose items more secure, and keep it from being just so floppy and, not rigid. It's very use case dependent, does it work for you or not at the end of the day, and I think it's just a really good way to get a little more out of it. Yeah, it looks kind of rough when it's real tight like this, but roughness isn't going to take away effectiveness at the end of the day. So, this looks really neat with that pouch fully fluffed out with tons of gear in there, whereas with a little bit of loose gear, but it keeps everything real secure, real tight in there. And then if you do it higher, so if you were to go right now, everything's on this bottom one. If you did it here and came across, you can actually limit how far you can open the pouch up too, which can help secure contents a little better. So you have a little adjustability there too, about limiting just the overall ability to lose stuff once you open it up. So if you did it higher and came across, you're not going to get any less out of the pouch. It just helps you not open it quite as far easily, so you don't lose stuff or drop stuff. So that's how to fix it up real easy. And you add a loose stow point at the end of the day too. So if you do that, things like gloves, balaclavas, hoods, whatever else you're working with, put it there, tie it down, whatever need be, and now you can hold this while you don't need them. And then once you need them, they just pull right out, easy to go. So the loose stow points are something that, don't look over that kind of feature if you can add that to a pouch if it doesn't already have it, because at the end of the day, shoving your gloves in and out of your pockets, something like that, if you're not having to wear them or other stuff like that, can get pretty annoying. And if you need it, back in like 5 minutes or so, this does the job for you really well, and it keeps it really handy. So the other way to fix this up is to add a little more rigidity to the front. It's real easy. So a piece of foam, something about half the thickness of this would do better. This is about like a 1/2 inch thick foam. If you had a thinner piece or cut down, whatever it be, and then cut to the size of this inside part of the pouch. If you cut that to the size and then use either 2-sided tape, or I recommend like hook and loop adhesive, take that in there, 1 piece on here, 1 piece on here, probably put the soft side in here so you could put some organizers potentially in there as well. Hook it right there, and now you can add this cutout to shape some form and rigidity to the front of the pouch and some protection. So if you were to go prone in like a chest rig where it has it up front, that foam would add some protection to like compasses, GPSs, protractors, whatever else you have in there, pins that you don't want to break. It's going to add some definite protection to it. So think about that. That can really, again, it applies to all these kind of pouches. But in here, it's definitely a really cool thing to do because it's so large, and you get a lot more out of it that way. You can do plastic as well, any sort of high durability type plastic you have laying around. And then just cover that thing up in like duct tape. So that way if it does snap, it's not going to go in a million pieces, especially if it's cold outside. And do the same thing, just stick it up there. Add a good level of rigidity to it and some protection. So that's how to fix this up. Super easy, get a lot more out of it. And I think, it does make it look a little cooler at the end of the day to me, which, that's not the whole point of it, but definitely helps. So think about that when you got one of these or any other type of pouch. It's the same kind of thing we've done before. It just serves a good purpose on these as well. And you can do this on your backpack too. So if you had these on your backpack, just like we do a sustainment pouch, so I showed that off with those before, Same kind of thing. It adds a little bit of extra security, loose stow points, all that kind of stuff to it, and you're good to go. So there's that. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely a deep dive into the USMC assault pouch. Hopefully you got the point where it's a great pouch and a little bit of work into it, like a lot of gear, makes it even better. So if you don't have one of these, make sure to pick one up because it's going to go great on pretty much any piece of kit you have. If you need a large GP that can just serve you well, this is one that's good to go with. So hope you enjoyed this. Leave a comment below what you think, what you done with the pouch, and make sure you head on to adventuresurplus.com, pick one up, and sign up for emails so you can see when these things restock if we're out of them by the time you watch this video.